Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Coach Chris from AccuTrader.net coming at you with a little different video than I've been doing recently. This video is about an indicator you can use. They're all free and can be found on TradingView.com. And it's a method to scalp the futures market. I use it to scalp the NQ. And I'll show you the setup here in a little bit. It's not 100% accurate, but it is consistently accurate, and it will give you guidance as to which way the market is moving and when you might see a change in the market, and so some other things. But I'll explain those as I get into it. As I said, this is Coach Chris from AccuTrader.net. Those of you who've recently purchased my indicator package or my trading package, thank you so much. And all of my new subscribers, I really appreciate it. I think you're going to find this video very helpful to you, and especially if you're a scalper. This method works. I'm going to show you first the 2-minute, and then I'm going to show you the 5-minute chart. And it's basically, the indicators are the same setup. It's just you're trading a different time period and you get a little different look at it. So if you're really just looking for quick in and outs, I would use the 2-minute. Otherwise, if you're looking for a little longer and bigger trades, then use the 5-minute, just to orientate yourself. So this is the MNQ contract, the September 2024 expiration. I'm filming this at 1:12 p.m. on August 15th, 2024. And what I've done is I've gone back in time to show you how this would have worked this week. This week has been a real strange week. We've had a lot of news come out, and I mean, the market has just gone literally almost, for lack of a better word, straight up, even though it wasn't straight. But it's been pretty much on an upward motion with not a lot of pullbacks. So it isn't the best market environment to show, but I figured if I show it to you over a week's worth of trading time, you'll get a good idea of what it's all about. I'm just going to expand this out. Now, let's start. What do we have here? We have two EMAs. That's the green line, and I'll show you which ones in a second. We have the green and the red, okay, which are EMAs. Then this blue line is VWAP, the volume weighted average price, and that is anchored to the start of the session, and that's a standard setting that you can set within the settings, which I'll show you in the indicator settings. I prefer mine to be blue. You can use whatever color you want, really, that you enjoy or that you find pleasing to your eye on these. On the VWAP and the two moving averages. And then down at the bottom, I have the ATR, the average to true range. And what that is doing, it's taking the average of the candle height over the period that your chart is on. So for instance, I've got this on the 2-minute time frame right now. And during this time period, the average true range has been 12.6 points, okay? And here's the actual exact movement of it, and you can see it got up here to, 20-something, and then down to, like, 10-ish. The reason that that's important is if you're scalping, you need to give this enough room. Sorry, I'm trading off to the side here on Top Step X, and I somehow just got entered into an order I forgot that I had sitting out there. So it's no big deal. Sorry about that, everyone. I hit the pause button, and I didn't realize it, and I was sitting here talking to myself, and I finally figured out what was going on. So let's go back to where I was. Let's go in here to the settings, and I'll show you the indicators that I'm using and what the settings are. As I said, I've got two EMAs, EMA, that's and then the ATR and the VWAP, okay? And all you need to do is go into the indicator section, and do a search up here. Enter EMA, click that one twice. Do ATR, click that one once, and then VWAP, VWAP, and click that one once. And let's go through these. I'll go slow. We'll go one by one through these. To change the settings, okay, let me just tell you. This one here is if you click on that, that will hide the indicator or that will hide whatever indicator you're working. This is the settings. So that's the one you want to click. And let's start from left to right. The first thing we're going to change as far as the length, we're going to go with a 21 period. Okay. And then for the source on this one, we're going to click on this and go to high. Okay. 21 high. And the method is SMA, simple moving average. Okay, that's all you should have to change on that. Then we go to style, and I choose green for that one. You could choose whatever color you want. I just to keep it consistent, I choose green. I don't know what happened to my chart here. Something got jazzed up on it. So let's go to the second EMA. Start again with the inputs. On this one, what we want to do is use the same length, 21, but under source, we're going to go to low on this one, okay? And then also here, the method is SMA. And then for style, we want to go, I choose the color being red on that one. Here again, you can choose whatever color you want. And then that's the only thing you need to worry about with that one. Then ATR, I believe these settings, these are just the settings I believe that are default, and it really doesn't matter for that. That's going to have no bearing. I just use that as a tool so that depending on the instrument you're trading, you want to make sure you're leaving enough room for that candle to move. For instance, let's say you're trading MNQ, which is $2 a point. Each candle is going to move on average 13, almost 14 points. So that's $28 of movement with each average candle, counting the wicks. So if you set your stop loss too tight on this, it's gonna stop you out every time, because the candle either to the top or to the bottom is just gonna close the trade on you. And that's why NQ is very, very difficult to scalp, because it does oscillate back and forth, and it does it so fast you don't even have time. I'm going to try and go back to where I was. I forgot where I was even. I don't know if I went all the way back to Monday, but let's go back here a second and see if I can find it. It moves so fast, and if you don't have enough, okay, here it is. Okay, I don't know why that moved on me. Let me just squelch this down a little bit. So, and then the last one is the VWAP, and I'm going to show you the settings on that. For input, you have make sure this is off. On the anchor period, make sure this is a session, that it's starting with the start of the session. And then I just have bands multiplier 1 clicked. And then if we go to the style tab, here again, I like this to be blue, and all of these should be unchecked, okay? And that's all we need to do as far as setting everything up. Now, here's how this works. Okay. I'm just going to go back. That's when the market, there's my fancy AccuTrader.net logo. So this was the market open. The market opens by me at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. I'm in the Central Time Zone. There was some news. This is Tuesday, August 13th that I'm looking at right here. So a couple of days ago. And the reason I've picked this time, this is 7 a.m., 6:30 a.m., 7:30 a.m. This is when the news hit. But you'll notice what happens right before, the news comes out here. This is the 7:30 candle here. This is a 2-minute chart. You'll notice what happens right here is that the two EMAs, they cross what I'll call over. They go over it because it's moving up. They cross over the VWAP, which signals your entry, okay? Now, as long as the price remains above that green line or your profit target is hit, you stay in the trade, okay? So, for instance, on this trade, let me just get the trade tool out. We want a long position right here. We would enter here, okay? And then you determine how big of a profit you want to hit, okay? So let's just set this. Wow, this really, I mean, this thing moved like crazy. So let's just choose here. Let's just choose 50 points, okay? Because with one, that would be $100 for every MNQ contract you're trading, okay? And as far as a risk to reward, I normally do a 2 profit to 1 reward. So in other words, if I want to hit a 50 point target, I'm going to set my stop loss at 25. Okay. A little bit more, a little bit more. Okay, well that's close enough for this illustration. So there you have it. That would be the trade. Now, you can see what happened is it hit our target. I'm going to delete that because otherwise it's going to keep flashing over like that every time I highlight it. So we get the EMA cross, the EMA cross over VWAP, and notice the thing goes almost straight up. Then we have a period of consolidation, and then it comes back down and touches the 90 or the 21 EMA, the green one here. Okay? Okay, so you can see here, once we hit our initial take profit, it consolidated sideways and came back down to touch that top 21 EMA. That can be another re-entry zone as long as you get at least one candle. And it looks like that first one touched, right? Yeah, see that first one touched and then closed above that EMA. And so I know it's kind of tricky to do, but you could have caught another potentially 30 to 40 points. Now, let's look at how this thing works. So say you took that, as soon as it touches this green, either you take profit at a set designation or when it hits that green line. Now you can see how the price action, how these candles are much smaller and it's getting real choppy. It came back. Usually when it first touches this bottom, whichever, if it's going down, it will be the bottom one, or in this case we're going up, so it's the red one. If it comes back, if it pulls back and touches that 21 EMA, the lower one, as long as we're still above VWAP, you can take that as a long. Just be careful because it's already shown itself to be fairly weak. Okay, so just to review, the initial entry is when the two EMAs cross. In this case, since it's a long, they're crossing above. That means they're above the blue VWAP. That is our initial entry. Take profit, you're looking for a 2 profit to 1 reward. I normally look for anywhere between a 25 and 50 point profit and a 12.5 to 25 point stop loss. When it comes back, if it touches the top EMA, and in this case, it's the green EMA, and closes, it touches, the first candle touches and closes above the EMA, you can re-enter if you've already taken profit and or just stay in the trade that you are in until you achieve your profit goal. Technically, as long as the price action is above, not touching, but as long as it's above the top EMA, and that top EMA is above VWAP, you stay in the trade. Now you can see what happened here is it pulled back and it touched the bottom red EMA in this case. Technically, that is an entry point, because what will happen is that's resistance, and when price hits resistance, it's going to bounce back. We just don't know, depending on how strong that touches, how much of a reaction we are going to be. So are we going to get, rather. So you just want to be cautious and put a fairly tight stop loss there. Now, the only thing, yeah, I believe it did touch here. You're going to want to not have, too great of a stop loss in that situation. And remember, we already have an ATR of like 15 to 20 at this point. So we want to make, we want to make sure our stop loss is somewhere, say, 8 to 15 points, or our take profit rather. So that's on the initial touch only, though. And you can see, because it has pulled back several times, you want to be very cautious that it's not going to, it's not going to start acting weird. And you can see how it actually does start acting kind of weird. So to recap, valid entry points, once the EMAs cross above the VWAP, when they first touch the top EMA, as long as they close above it, and when it touches this bottom red line down here, okay? Now, so we follow the price. Remember, this is the 2-minute chart. We follow up here, it touches. It did break through in this case by, let's just give it an idea, yeah, 15 points, which are average true range. So like I'm saying, if you do take a trade off of that bottom EMA, make sure you give enough room here for this thing to work a little bit, because you can see what happens then. Then, remember, you can stay in the trade as long as both EMAs are above VWAP. And look at how this thing just crawls right up that top EMA, okay? And then you can kind of see how the EMAs round over, and then it's pretty much sideways price action till we get into tomorrow morning, or the next day rather. So that's that day. Okay, yep, you can see right here. This is 7:30 now on Wednesday. Remember, we also had a news event here. And so look what happens. Right here, this is the VWAP, remember, is where the EMAs cross over the VWAP, and in this case, we're shorting the market. And you can see what happens. It goes down, comes back, and touches it. Goes down and deviates a little further, comes back, touches it. And so what you need, it's almost like a rhythm, and this takes some skill to learn how to do. And so you can see, push down, pull back, touch. Push down, pull back, touch. It never, remember, these aren't exact. They're going to cut through sometimes a little bit. But as long as you remember, set your stop loss according to this ATR. Like in this case, when we're getting this much volatility, I would actually double it. So I would have a stop loss of, say, 25 to 30, okay? So, and you can just see how you can follow this. And these are nice thrusts. you can see you're getting probably, what is that? That's a 70-point downdraft, just to give you an idea. Pull back, down. And then here is our low. See how they swept the liquidity? And see what's happening with these EMAs, how they're coming to the bottom and they're starting to round up. Now this closes normally. Remember, I said the first touch of that bottom, occasionally you can enter, but look what would have happened. It actually closed above it and it reversed, okay? And so now what we have is a roll reversal. We come around here, we're going to intersect VWAP. We intersect with VWAP, and look what happens. Beautiful trade to the upside. Never, ever really comes and gives us any type of a... So here's VWAP here, crossover, 100 points to the top. We're never even close to it. We come up here, and look what's happening. We're starting to rebound, okay? But here's the thing on this one, okay? Where's VWAP? Way down here. So according to this style of trading, this does not trigger at all. And then it just consolidates to the end of the day. I'm going to move along because I'll show you the 5 minute in a second. I'll do one more day. This is Thursday. This is today, actually. And today was just like, when was it? I think it was 2 days ago where the thing just went to the moon and never came back. I think that's what this is. Yeah, this is just crazy. So we come in. Here's Thursday morning at 7:30. That's the news event, and look what happens. Okay, VWAP is under, the EMAs go above, and we have our entry. Now, granted, you're probably not going to catch that 7:30 candle. That's when the news that happens so fast that, it's just very difficult, but you could enter once that closes and and because look at the separation you're getting. You could have probably picked up, let's say even got in a little late, 100 points right there. And then it's the same old thing. Push up, pull back, push up, pull back, thrust up, pull back, and look at what that little rascal did. Came right down and tippy-toed and touched. It just smooched that bottom EMA, and then the thing is still going up. So that's the 2 minute. Let's look at it on the 5 minute because it's similar, but you're going to notice a few things. First of all, your ETR is substantially higher because it is a longer time period, and so you're going to have to give a lot more breathing room to this. To do it on the 5 minute chart. So we come in. This is Wednesday morning, yesterday morning at 7:30. Here's the news candle. We don't get a proper crossover here or here. The first cross is right, well, when both of them, but when the green one crosses, is right about here, and you can see you would have got a nice trade, and you never really got. When we have markets like this will happen occasionally. This is why I do recommend you trade this one, because this is pure scalping. This is in a trade for anywhere from 2 to maybe 10 minutes most often. So when you're doing that, you do trade usually off of a tighter, smaller time frame is what I'm trying to say. I don't know what's going on with my head this afternoon. So this is this morning, 7:30 news candle. Look what happens. The two EMAs cross over. The VWAP right here. Enter, and you get a big thrust upward of 160 points. I mean, these days are not that common, and so you want to learn and study what happens day in and day out, not the abnormal or the 1 or 2 days a month that we get a big news release. The market is going to behave, and then they switch on the market makers and the institutions switch on different algos, and that's why the market kind of tends to behave a little different. Like this is not common. You know what I mean? To just see huge moves straight to the upside. And it's not healthy. A market, this is not healthy to have a one-directional market. A true market needs to go up, pull back, get liquidity, fill in any gaps, any FVGs, fair value gaps, and sweep any unfilled orders. Oh, excuse me. So, but you'll notice the same thing. It'll pull back a little bit, thrust up, pull back. In this case, the pullbacks aren't as great. And then up here, finally, we're running out of steam. We're still way above VWAP, and look what it does again. Comes back, touches, multiple touches, so you can re-enter and pick up another, let's just see what that is, 60 points. But here again, I would recommend, especially if you're trading the NQ the way it moves, trade it in sim first, okay? And just see if you can start to get a feel for these ebbs and flows. They're almost like waves cresting on the ocean. Big wave, crash. Big wave, crash. Big wave, crash. The only thing we don't know, these are actually fairly uniform in length, but look what happens here. Up, crash, up, crash. Much smaller in terms of the number of upward candles and the downward candles, okay? But you can see here on the 2 minute, it is a little easier to scalp it, in my opinion. And then we still can get nice separation both to the, this is what we like to see. See how it's not just one direction. We open, we go up, we pull back, we go up, and then we pull back. The market wants to revert to the mean. By that, it means the VWAP by nature, by definition, is the average price, okay? So anytime that market gets too far away from that VWAP, it doesn't have to, but it wants to retrace, and the institutions want to get it back. They would love for it to just trade right here because it's more predictable to them. But so we go up, pull back to VWAP, go under VWAP, round, back up, touch VWAP, go, slam through it, back, consolidation. So that is the 2 minute scalping program, all free indicators that are available on tradingview.net. If you have any specific questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you'd like me to make a video about a topic that you haven't seen, please leave it in the comment below. Once again, I want to thank everybody who's purchased the AccuTrader.net system. I hope it's working well for you. If you have any questions on any part of that, just give me a message. Remember, on the 20th, 5 more days, I am going to increase the price of it. I've got it at a very low price, introductory price, and many people have taken advantage of it, which I'm glad they did. So if you want to get in at this low price, please do. I've got some really exciting things coming up. They're not ready for release quite yet, but I'm in these markets every day in the trenches with you guys. This can really help keep you on the right side of where the market is moving, okay? Just with these simple moving indicators and VWAP, see, as long as you stay on that side, our tendency is to always want to short and catch the reversal, when in reality, you're going to probably make more money with this continuation. So, Coach Chris from AccuTrader.net, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click on that little like button down below and subscribe if you feel so inclined. So, thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon.